In this session, we will focus on 5 things. The fifth one is kind of, I'm not going to teach you something, I'm just going to introduce you to some new vocabulary. This is actually your job so that every day you add new vocabulary to your notebook. And then let's see. So we will start with adjective endings. So let's say if you want to say, I read a book. Let me write it again. So let's say if you want to say, I read a book. So by now you know read is schreiben, and schreiben for I is schrei, ich is schreiber without the end. Book is Buch, and this is neutral, so it will be ein Buch. But if you want to say a good book, right? So you will say good in English. In German you will say schön, or you can also use the German word for good, that is gut. But whether it is guter, gutes, guten, how does it end? That is something you will learn today, and that you will learn for adjectives after bestimmter artikel, that is der, die, das, after unbestimmter artikel, after negationsartikel, that is kein, keine, and for possessive article. And here you have mein, meine, dein, deiner. Then you also have ihre, eure, seine, and so on. Don't be afraid of these. It's very easy to remember. Then you will learn a new concept, not a new, you know this. So in English we say sometimes complex sentences where in the first part we say something and then we say then. So if this happens, then this will happen. Sometimes we say also if this happens, then this happens. So the German word for if is, okay, don't believe this for the throughout the sessions, but for now you can, when you see when in here, think of the English if. Okay, or to be more precise, when you see when in a sentence in German language, think that, just understand that you should expect a condition following when, and of course dann, what comes after dann will be the result. So when this, then that. Okay, and don't think of this when as when. Okay, that will be a mistake. Don't think of this like that. Then you will learn how you may wish others on special occasions. So why you need to learn this? Because it's important, right? It's polite to wish others on special occasions. So it can be their birthday, it can be a day of their promotion, it can be something else where you want to wish the other guy, or you want to congratulate the other guy, right? So you can wish them or you can congratulate them. So you wish them on their birthdays, you congratulate them when they get promoted. Then you will learn a new, I think you know this already, but we will cover it again. So 2 new prepositions, ohne and mit. Ohne is used to say without, mit is used to say with. But there is one grammatical aspect which is different. So when you use ohne, what comes after ohne will be accusative, what comes after mit will be dative. We'll look into it. Then of course new vocabulary. Disclaimer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions as then. This is the 6th session, and then we have 24 overall sessions. You can still join these sessions, guys. So it's not like just because you missed the first 6 or 7 sessions you cannot join. You can join. It's just that you will have to revise a little bit, and you will have to be active in asking questions that you want to be answered. All right. So let's look at this table. So in this table, I'm just saying, so in this table I have divided it into 4 columns, actually 5 columns. So column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5. But the first column is just headings, so nominative, accusative, dative, and this is for masculine, feminine, neutrum or neutral, and then here we have plural. Why have I done this? To explain you to help you understand something about how adjectives in German may end when they are after bestimmter artikel. Bestimmter artikel can be der, die, das. In nominative, they can be, so in nominative they can be der, die, das, and again die for plural. In accusative they can be den, die, das, die, dative dem, der, den, den. Now if you are noticing, so I will read this once, all these sentences. Please try to focus where there are some differences, otherwise you will think They all sound the same. So the first sentence, ich bin der schlaue Mann, ich bin die schlaue Frau, ich bin das schlaue Kind, wir sind die schlauen Personen. Ich sehe den schlauen Mann, ich sehe die schlaue Frau, ich sehe das schlaue Kind, ich sehe die schlauen Personen. Ich helfe dem schlauen Mann, ich helfe der schlauen Frau, ich helfe dem schlauen Kind, ich helfe den schlauen Personen. Even though this session is about adjective endings, but I would still like to revise the bestimmter article for different cases. So here it is there for masculine nominative, die for feminine nominative, das for neutrum nominative, and die for plural nominative. When you go to accusative, feminine remains the same, feminine neutrum plural remain the same. The only change that you see is in masculine, so there becomes den. But when you go from nominative to dative or accusative to dative, you will see here it's dem and dem for neutrum and masculine, and it is der for feminine and den few for plural. Okay, let's talk about adjective endings. So if you see over here, you have schlauer. Let me get my mark. You have schlauer, schlauer, schlauer. Okay, for nominative and for singular cases. The moment you enter plural case, it's just en everywhere. Okay, now when you consider all the dative cases, it's again en. Now when you look at feminine accusative and neutrum accusative, it's e. Now when you consider accusative masculine, so it's en. So I hope you could follow why this is like that. That's how the German language is, and you just have to accept it. But you know how to remember it, right? So bestimmter article, adjective ending, when it's plural, it's en. When it's dative, it's en. Otherwise, it will be e, except for accusative masculine. So here, if you can notice, so it's en for all the dative cases, it's en for all the plural cases. Then otherwise it is e, except en for nominative masculine. So the table again, let's look at the same adjective endings, but this time we are focusing on unbestimmter article. So there are some differences. What are these differences? So you see again, when it's dative, it is en. So this is how you can remember it. So the adjectives or the adverbs end with en, okay, or n if there is already an e at the end. Then you have, for example, if you are saying rich, right? Rich in German is reich. So it will be either reichen or reich, or just reich over here. Okay, that's again, so when it's unbestimmter article, adjective endings, so it will be en for all the dative cases. For plural cases, except dative, so plural except dative, it is e. Okay, for neutrum except dative, it is es. For feminine except dative, it is e. For nominative masculine, it's er. For accusative masculine, it's en. Okay, this way you can remember it. What you can, so again I have highlighted them. What you can do is, so one way to learn, this is where many people stop learning German, by the way, because they don't want to remember this table, and I agree with them. But if you just go by remembering this table, it will be tough. What you can do is learn this table, try to see if you can write this table: nominative, accusative, dative, masculine, neutrum, feminine, plural, and then start filling the gaps, first for bestimmter and then for unbestimmter article. Do it for 5-10 times, and then after start using it, try writing sentences. So you have already done some homework where you write, for example, I see the book, I have the book, this is the book. Now start adding adjectives to it. For example, this is the green book, I see the green book. I hope you could follow. So now, so we looked at adjective endings for bestimmter article, we looked at adjective endings for unbestimmter article. What about negationsartikel and possessive article? So they are the same, they are identical. Okay, so they are identical. Now I don't want to give you example, I just want to give you the table. But what I have a question for you. If I just give you, if you just look at these two tables, the one for bestimmter and the other for unbestimmter article, is it possible to just take these two tables and create either of these tables? So if you understood the question, so if you do, you notice any pattern? And the pattern is, if you look carefully, so this part you can see here, right? And this part you can see here, right? So you can take this part and put it here. You can take this part and put it here. Okay, this is just something, you don't have to remember this, but it's easier when you try, you know. So if you know how to build this table, then you know how to write this table. Okay, so again, just saying the same thing. All right, let's if you're wondering why I'm not doing some exercises, it's because this will be done in the next class. Also, this is a homework for you, so you already have written many sentences as part of your homework, but those sentences were without adjectives. But you have also separately made a list of adjectives, right, as part of your homework. Start combining those sentences, rewriting those sentences again with different adjectives. Okay, now let's learn something about Nebensätze mit wenn, dann again. So when you see wenn, you can think of the German English if, like as a condition. Okay, so when you see wenn, think of if. When you see dann, think of, okay, so if A, then B. All right, so you need this quite often when you are talking, right? So before I give you the syntax to write sentences using wenn and dann, let's look at a normal sentence. So normal sentence, you have subject, you have the verb, then you have the object or adjective. So for example, one with, for example, you can just say es regnet, so it's raining, subject verb. Or you can say es ist kalt, so es ist kalt, adjective. Or you can say ich lese das Buch, I read the book, so with an object. Now how can you write sentence where you say when this happens? So if you just say this happens, then this happens. Okay, A happens, then B happens. So this here, the syntax remains, it's still the same. Over here, what happens is that the positions of verb and subject get interchanged. So verb is here and then you have the subject. That's what you should be careful about. Let's look at a sentence where you have, so you are writing A happens, then B happens. But here in your sentences, you just don't have a verb, you also have a modal verb. Okay, so then here it's obvious, so subject, modal verb, object or adjective, and here it will be verb. Verb will be infinitive, will be in its infinitive form. Modal verb has to be conjugated. Then you have done. If you notice what happens over here is, look at this one. So here the positions of subject and verb got interchanged. Here what happened is, in this row, the positions of modal verb and subject got interchanged. Okay, this verb, the other verb or the main verb will be in its infinitive form. It was here also at the last position, it's here also at the last position. Let's look at a sentence where you use wenn and dann together. So when A happens, then B happens. So syntax, so when, you have the subject, then the verb where you will have at the last position. Here you can have adjective or object. Done, so you can just copy it from here. So the way it was here, it will be, so this one will apply to here, because why do I say that? So here in this example, you are just using a verb without a modal verb. So this one comes from here, right? Hope you could follow. Next example here, so you are using when, you're saying when A happens. So by A, I mean like some condition, right? Or when sentence A, then sentence B. So when sentence A, then sentence B. Here, if you notice, so you're using a verb and a modal verb and a verb. Okay, so this one, so this you understand. So if you notice carefully, this was our this sentence when we were not using when. So subject, modal, verb, object, adjective, verb. So this one is obvious. When you use when you put when before this here, so what happens is that subject still remains where it was. It's just that the modal verb gets pushed to the last position. Okay, so this sentence also becomes a Nebensatz. Okay, I hope you could follow that. If you have questions, please ask. Then we have seen this topic quite a few times, but the reason I keep focusing on this express how you're feeling or how someone is feeling, it's because this is part of our daily life, right? We say but not just how someone is feeling, right? When I say, it's not about like how you are feeling, it's also about what is your opinion. I believe most of you guys are working, and let's say when you have to take when you are part of a meeting and where someone presented something, a colleague or a student or a back student, and you want to give your opinion, right? So you can say, I find it interesting, or I find it good, I find it bad, and then you can say, if you, let's say, you can use ich bin to say things about yourself, like ich bin müde, ich bin krank, ich bin, you can say, ich bin Deutsche, your nationality or whatever you want to say. Also, you can use it to express your opinion. So you can say, ich bin überrascht, I'm surprised, right? Or you can say, ich bin beeindruckt, I am impressed. So you can say stuff like that. Then this special verb, not special verb, but I want you to know this, is that when you want to say how something is looking, so you can use it for a person or you can use it for an object. So how someone is looking, so you want to say it looks good, right? Or the weather does not look good, the presentation looks really good. So you can use the verb aussehen. The verb is aussehen, but the aus is the prefix, so it's at the last position and you conjugate the sehen part. And here you can have the adjective, or yeah, it's usually you have an adjective. Okay, then so mit und ohne. Yeah, I don't think I need to go through this, but I will still. So for those who are right now not in Germany and will come to Germany, you will experience this. So let's say it has been a long day and all the restaurants are closed, and then you don't want to cook, but you still want to eat outside. Then one of the places that at least I go to, or most of the colleagues that I know go to, are they will go to a nearby donut shop, right? So there, when you go there, they usually greet you with this. So was soll es sein? Was möchten Sie bestellen? They never ask like this. Was wollen Sie bestellen? They usually say was soll es sein or was möchten Sie bestellen? So what should it be, or what would you like to order? Then you can say, so I mean there are many options, but the two options that normally people have quite late. So if they want something vegetarian, they will say Falafeltasche. Otherwise, they will say Nonnatasche, which is not vegetarian. Then usually after some time they will ask you, it's a kind of a sandwich, they will ask you, so they add quite a lot of vegetables in it, and they will ask you, so alles darauf means should everything be inside or on it in the sandwich? Your answer can be 9. So your answer can be yes, or your answer can be 9. And then quite often this is observed, people usually say without onions. So they say 9, alles ohne Zwiebel. Notice, so this is just telling you, so if you're already in Germany, you must have noticed this ohne being used. Okay, all right, let's come to the topic. So when you use ohne, what comes after ohne will be accusative. When you use mit, with, so mit means, you can think of this of as German with, ohne is without. So ohne, what comes after ohne is accusative, what comes after mit is dative. Why this is like that, don't ask me, that's the language. Then examples, so maybe you can tell me how should I write all these sentences. She works with me, so she works is sie arbeitet, with will be mit, me will be mir, because dative. I'll give you the answers. So here, she is sie, works, the verb is arbeiten, but we are conjugating it for she, third person singular, so arbeitet. With is mit, me, so me is ich in nominative, mich in accusative, mir in dative, and we need dative because the rule. So sie arbeitet mit mir. She can work without me. Notice here you are using can and work, so you will need modal verb, and können is the appropriate choice over here. So you will write sie arbeiten at the last position in infinitive form. Then in the second position you will have the modal verb conjugated. So the verb is können. Conjugated for third party singular is kann. Then you will write without me, so ohne me, right? So I just told you ich is nominative, mich is accusative, mir is dative. Here we need mich. Okay, we don't need mir because after ohne it is accusative. So ohne mich. Then you can just this is just me trying to help you practice. So how can I go without you? If it was just how can I go, you would say wie gehen at the last position, question mark, infinitive form, kann. So können for ich. Können für ich is kann. And then because you say without you, so ohne, so you, so again you can be polite and it will be sie, and so this is sie second for polite, and then nominative accusative will still be sie, and dative will be ihnen. Okay, but I'm considering this form informal, so du, dich, dir, right? Nominative, accusative, dative. So I will use ohne because ohne, so ohne because ohne, so accusative, so ohne dich. Wie kann ich ohne dich gehen? Next, then do you want to go with me? Again, check to go and want to. So to go will be gehen, and so because you are also using something else, so you will be using modal verb over here. Now to want to, you can use möchten or wollen. I will go with wollen, and wollen for du is willst. So willst du mit mir gehen? I hope this is obvious. Then these two examples, if you are working, you will face this at least every 2 or 3 years when you'll be talking about your salary with the recruiter or with the HR department of the new company. So there, at least the people I know, they have, so their salary includes two parts. There is fixed part. Let's say the salary, let's say assume their salary is 100,000. No one has the salary, the people at least I know, but let's say in some hypothetical word, a friend of mine has this much salary per year. So it will be something like this: 80,000 will be fixed and the other 20 will be variable. So this he gets based on his performance and the company performance. You can also get more than this if the company performs really well and he also performs really well. Now so I think I have your interest now. So I have your attention now. So let's say if you want to say 65,000 euros with the variable part. So you just write this 65,000 as it is, then you write with, so mit. Part is, so here there can be many words for part in German, but I think the two most appropriate one are der Teil or der Anteil. These two are most appropriate, at least in this context when you're talking about salary. I will go with Teil, and it is, so after mit it will be dative, so I'm using their part, so bestimmter article, so their Teil becomes them. And now here I am using this adjective, right? Variable. Okay, now you're thinking, okay, I just took variable and added n at the end and made the English word in German. That's how it is. So but the pronunciation is different. So Germans also have this adjective variable, so we don't say, the spelling is the same, but we say variable. Okay, variable and not variable in German. But about the ending, right? So I have added n, if you remember, which we were just talking about it. Whenever it is bestimmter article and whenever it is dative or plural case, the ending will be n. Okay, bestimmter article, dative or plural, ending is n. That's why n. Now let's say let's say this was a statement from the other party, from your future company, future employer. You know, they are saying 65,000 with the variable part, but you don't want to take risk and you say no, give me 1,000 less, but give without the variable part. You know, that's it. So I don't need variable, just give me 64,000. So here it will be 64.000, without will be ohne and teil, and it will be den, okay, this time, because ohne requires accusative, and it is still den because if you remember the table that we had drawn for like ending bestimmter article. So here we had nominative, sorry, here we had masculine, then we had neutral, no, so I think we had feminine, then we had neutral, then we had plural, right? And then we had nominative, accusative, dative. So I told you, whenever it is dative, whenever it is plural, the ending is en. Otherwise, it's everywhere e. Okay, except for masculine accusative. Except for masculine accusative, it is en, and it is masculine teil and accusative because ohne. So variable. This is how you can use, try to, so you just learned the adjective endings, and now you're just, you know what the ending will be. Having said that, also I want you to focus on this. So here in English we write 65, then we write comma and then 3 zeros. 64, 3 commas and 0. In German we replace the comma with point. As strange as it may seem or sound, that's how it is. So in German, so if, let's say, if you want to write 1000, right? So in German, if you want to write, you can write it like this. But if you want to add punctuations, instead of writing a comma, you will write point. You might think this is 1.000, but no, it's 1000 in German. Now, if you want to write, let's say, if you want to write about percentages, so if you want to write 89.54 percentages, so in German, instead of point, you will write comma. As I said, as strange as it may sound, that's how it is. Okay, so numbers, talking about currencies or decimal points. So you write, replace point with comma, comma with point. You'll get used to it. Then also what I want to focus on, so you will also see some verbs. For example, mitkommen, this is a note, mitkommen, mitbringen, mitnehmen. This has nothing to do with these prepositions, okay? There are some verbs, for example, mitkommen is a trennbare verb. So mit, you can say it's a prefix. So you can use it to say come along, So I will come along, or I come along. So if you want to say ich, I come, so you will say ich komme. If you want to say I come along, so you will say ich komme mit. Okay, this has nothing to do with these prepositions. Mitbringen will be bring it along. Mitnehmen will be take it along. Please see which other verbs you can find when you have mit as a separable prefix. Then we are done. So this is actually your homework, that every day you write something in your, so I have requested you to buy a notebook where you can, every day you divide every one page into 4 sections. In the first sections you write nouns, new nouns that you learn relevant for your life, new verbs relevant for your life, new adjectives, adverbs relevant for your life, or new phrases. Okay, I have also created something like this for you. I do this in every session. So let's look at, for example, this one, right? Der Zug ist abgefahren. It literally means the train has left, but colloquially in English we say, right, the ship has sailed. When something, you want to do something but it's useless because there is no point, the ship has sailed, so you can use it in situations like that. Der Zug ist abgefahren. Hin und zurück, so it means to and fro. Okay, to and fro. To and fro because someone is asking like how long does it last, how much does it take to go to office and come back? So you can say just 20 Minuten, it's too less, so you can say 2 Stunden. But if you want to say to and fro, 20 Stunden, 20 Minuten. So you can say hin und zurück, 20 Minuten. All right. So let me quiz you so that I can bother you for not doing homework. The difference between anrufen and zurückrufen, please think if you know the answer. Answer is, anrufen means to call, zurückrufen means to call back. Okay, then you have lächeln und lachen. Difference is, so lachen is to laugh, lächeln is to smile. Then you have schreiben and beschreiben. Schreiben means to right? Beschreiben means to describe. Okay, then mitfahren, mitbringen, mitkommen, I told you. Then you have abholen and holen. They both mean the same, but context is important. Holen is usually used with respect to objects. Abholen is used with respect to people, you know. So uh, holen, abholen, they mean the same pickup, you know, to pick up, but abholen is usually used with respect to people. So to pick someone, holen will be to pick something. You know, somebody is going to supermarket, your flatmate, and you want to say, you know, pick also this soya sauce for me. So bitte hol den Sojasauce auch für mich. Okay, then you have abnehmen and zunehmen, and then you have nehmen. Okay, nehmen means to take, abnehmen means to gain weight. Okay, here the context is important. If I say ich nehme ab, sorry, abnehmen means to lose weight, zunehmen means to gain weight. Okay, the highlighting with green color indicates the green highlighted part is the prefix that is separable. So abnehmen, ich nehme ab will be I gain weight, ab is lose, zu is gain. So ich nehme zu is I gain weight, ich nehme ab will be to gain weight. Begründen is to provide reasons, you know, or to reason or to prove. Tauschen will be to exchange. In Germany, you will see there is concept of Tauschwohnung. Please check what this is. It's very interesting. Angeben. Any idea what angeben is? So you know geben, right? So geben means to give. Angeben is to. It has nothing to do with give. Also yes, but not literally. So angeben, it's ich gebe an. So it means to boast or to brag. You know? Ankommen is to arrive. Okay. Then besuchen is to visit. Reservieren is to reserve. Verdienen is to earn. Ausgeben is to spend money. Then let's see if I can bother you even further. Yes, Anzeige is advertisement. Then you have meter. So meter is the renter. Meter is the rent. Then you have Vermieter, that is the one who lends, like the landlord or the landlady. Okay, so you can have their Vermieter or you can have the Vermieterin. Then you have, let's look at some adjectives. So erreichbar means available. Freiwillig is you're doing it out of your own will. Selbstständig, you know, if someone is selbstständig, that means that person is independent, or yes, independent. Then obdachlos. So whenever you see the word los, right, it means without something, so or less. So obdach, so dak means roof over your head, roof of your house. Obdachlos means homeless, you know. You can use it to describe someone. Okay, I don't think you will ever do it because it's impolite, but yeah, obdachlos means homeless. Then you have arbeitslos, which most of my friends are, that is jobless. Deutlich is exact or clear. There are different ways to say it. You know, some people say, I mean, so it depends. You know, if I say ich spreche deutlich, so I can say ich spreche. That means I speak, right? But if I say ich spreche deutlich, it will mean I speak clearly. Okay. Also, but klar also means clearly. Sometimes, you know, bitte sprechen Sie deutlich und klar. Deutlich can also mean exactly. Different ways to use the same adjectives. Then you have möglich. Possible, unmöglich is impossible. Glaubhaft and glaubwürdig, they both mean believable, but context is important. Then you have unglaublich, unbelievable. People also use it sometimes as like exact. You know, something happens and they want to say unbelievable, man. Then you can say unglaublich. Nicht zu fassen is also means the same, unbelievable. Then you have allein, that is alone. Zusammen is together. Getrennt is separated, but there are different ways to use it. You know, when you go to a restaurant and you are with a friend or more than one friend, and at the end the waiter comes with the bill and he asks, like, do you guys want to pay zusammen or do you guys want to pay getrennt, right? So I hope you get the idea. Then you have schon, that is like good, pretty, or whatever. Schlecht is bad or not pretty. Plötzlich is suddenly. Anscheinend, very important, means apparently. You can also use it as a conjunction. Hell is light, dunkel is dark, positive, negative is, I think you know. Verrückt means crazy usually. Erfolgreich is what none of my friends are, that is successful. Then you have super. So yeah, in English you will say super, in German you will say super. It can be used in different ways, you know. It can be used just to, you know, just to say your surprise, or how good, like it's something happens and you are happy about it. Yeah, super, you know. Or you can also, it can also be used like as alles klar, instead of alles klar is what I'm trying to say. Please go through this list, and please also make this list for yourself. And yeah, let me know if you know other verbs, other words that I should add to this list. And if you find any mistake, please also let me know about that. See if you can follow this. If you follow this advice, you don't need me, you don't need any German teacher, is what I believe. Thank you very much for listening.